Welcome back. So let's continue with simple interest. Here's a question, a little bit more involved, but let's get into it. Your grandparents want you to have $20,000 for your 18th birthday. How much should they invest in a GIC, which is called Guaranteed Investment Certificate, that has 4.25 simple interest and is annual interest, assuming they invested the day you were born. So on the 18th birthday, that means that from 0 to your 18th birthday, that will end up being 18 years. I have written the interest amount formula on top, but also I need to write the accumulated amount formula. So let's do that. Let's do that. So we use the accumulated amount formula in here, and we're going to write up what it is that we do have. First, we have the rate, which is 4.25%. We do know what the accumulated amount is because they want to have $20,000 for you on your 18th birthday. We do know the time. Time is between 0 and your 18th birthday, so that would be 18 years. Now, if you do that, because we are starting at 0 month or 0 year, so in totality, it will be 18 years. What would be the initial amount that needs to be invested? Okay, let's plug numbers in and see what we get. So 20,000 for A, then P we don't have, 1 plus. We're going to change the rate to decimal 0.0425. Make sure you write all the decimal expansion and then multiply that by 18 here. All right, and now we're going to solve for P. That means we're going to find out what this value in the bracket is. Whatever it is, we have to divide both sides of the equation by that value, and then we're going to come back and see what the answer will be. So we got this last equation right here and divide both sides by 1.765 to isolate the principal amount P, and then let's find out what that is. You just do a simple division and then you get the answer. So let's do that. Okay, and when you do that, you get $11,331.45. They probably rounded up to 332, 11,332, and that is the initial investment they have put in 18 years ago for some kind of a college or schooling education for you. All right, so that's the first question. Let's do another one. Well, the second question is actually part B of the first question. Now that we got that, let's find out what is the interest amount that that investment earned over the 18-year investment. So we know that the principal amount was 11,331.45, and we wanted to get to $20,000. So we simply, in this case, you just have to subtract away to get the interest amount. So two ways to do this. I'm going to use both ways. So the first way is we do the interest equals to the 20,000, the total amount, subtract away from 11,331.45 cents, and then you get whatever that value is, which is $8,668.55. That's one way to do this. Now, this is the easy way. The harder way is using this formula, the interest formula, which is PRT, okay? Now, I am not going to do that, but you can go ahead and plug numbers in for the principal amount that you got, which is 11,331.45 multiplied by 0.0425 multiplied by 18, and then you should get that number. And if you don't, there is something wrong. So the good thing about this question is it's very intuitive. So you can use either way and you will do fine. So just use common sense and then you should be able to get the answer, no problems. Okay, let's look at another question. Here's the next question. We have this invested $10,000 in saving bond or saving account, and she earned a simple interest rate of 7%, but this time this is paid semi-annually. That means twice a year. That means every 6 months she gets 7%. It is a simple interest, but it's every 6 months she gets that. She likes to hold the investment for 3.5 years to buy a car. That's the saving kind of a thing that she's doing, and determine the value of her investment at each half-year interval, basically until she withdraws the money. So what is it that we do have? We have the principal amount, that's 10 grand. We have the rate, 7%. Change it to decimal expansion, that's 0.07. Remember that just semi-annually is paid out, so that means every 6 months she's getting that, and she wants to leave it for 3.5 years. The first 6 months, so we start with the 10,000, okay, and the first 6 months, which is the first round, she gets 7%, and that means she gets $70. That is the first 6 months period, okay? Then she does that again, but remember, every time she's not going to change the value of the interest amount, because she always gets, so the second, the third, the fourth, how many 6 months interval are in 3.5 years? So that would be 7. That's 3.5 years. So that means 7 6-month interval. Okay. So this is the part that you need to pay attention to. There are 7 of them. So you go 4, 5, 6, and 7. But in each case, you only get $70. You're not going to change the amount. So how many times you get this $70? Well, you get it 7 times. So you multiply these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is $490 for the 10 grand that she puts in. She gets. That means at the end, the total accumulated amount will be the $10,000 that she invested plus $490 that is accumulated with all the interest, and the total will be $10,490. Then for each of these, so the first year she will have, so you can just make a note in here that, for example, the first year she will have, let me change the color to green. So first year she will have 10,070. Second year will be 10,070 plus another 70, sorry, that would be 10,140. And then keeps going up by $70 each time, and you can figure that out. So in each interval she will have another, so this would be $10,210. For every 6 months she will gain $70. All right, so that's the easiest way to do this problem. You can actually make it more complicated using a formula, or that accumulated formula, or the interest rate formula, which is fine. You can do that. All right, this is it. 2 questions. Go back, make sure you get the notes, make sure you know what to do, and then do practice, practice, practice. And you want to do that every day for 10-20 minutes. Maybe pick up 1 or 2 practices and keep doing that and play around with that formula, and then you'll get better and better and better at it. All right, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that every time that I put up a new video, you have a quick access to that. All right, until next time, take care.